Okay, so this is a demo on how to do the dynamic fields with Menuboard Manager. I'm going to go to the presentations here. This is your filter to show only presentations. I'm going to work on presentation number 4 here for California Fish Grill. Double clicking on the presentation brings me to the presentation editor directly. And over here I've got my playlist, and I've got some guides and some backgrounds. So first I'll start with the guides, which have the prices. I'll go into the guides. Here's number 4. I'll bring that into the playlist. And you can see down here that we have the menu, and it has the prices in it. These are not dynamic, these are in the graphics. So what my goal is to replace the graphics with dynamic text fields. And to create dynamic text fields, I go to the Fields tab. Notice I have no fields in this presentation, and I've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 total fields. 9 are this size and color, and 2 are this size and what appears to be a slightly darker color. Okay, so let me get started. I will go to the Fields tab. I will select a new number field because these are numbers. So click this. I can enter the first number field here, which is grilled salmon with Cali mix. Tab over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put in here the price of $14.50 so that it matches and I can line it up. And then over here I'm going to declare a couple of classes. The first class will be prices, and the second class will be grilled salmon. Good enough. You can do anything you want here. You can abbreviate, you can do anything you want, but this is what I'm choosing. And then I don't have a POS ID yet, so I'm not going to put that in. And then I would go over to the CSS tab, and over here, actually I usually would be blank, I would type in the prices class and some shared CSS values that all of the prices would use, which they all use a position of absolute, the same font family, the same font size, the text alignment, the color, which is that bluish, darkish blue, and then a transform parameter because the menu is in portrait, so we have to transform the CSS. And then once I have the prices class in, I would want a class specific to this product, which, remember, I did grilled salmon. Okay, and then I do open and close curly brackets, and I would do here left colon, and it's probably about 444 pixels left, and let's say 444 pixels. Oops. From the top. Now, of course, these are transformed, so they're a little bit. They're the opposite of what it would normally be. You have to kind of transpose that in your mind here, and you can see the prices right here. And it's, of course, it's in the wrong place. I just kind of guessed on these numbers, and then I can start moving them over. For example, here I want to type 244, and you can see it moved up here, right? It needs to be right here. And then this is probably like there, 100 and let's do 100. That's pretty good. And that gets me to where I need to be, and then I can just make an adjustment here, like 400, 270. Okay, that's not enough. I'll do 299. That's too much. 88, and that's pretty good. I'm off by a couple of pixels here, so let's do like 92 pixels, 94 pixels. And you can see it's right over here. Now, it's kind of hard to see it. My font color here, this color is incorrect. In order to position it correctly, I use a little trick here, and that trick is I can make this color red. And now you can see it very obviously over the graphic price. And so I just move it over 1 pixel here, and there we go. Perfect. It's right over top. Okay, so now I can move on. One thing I did here, I made a mistake. I didn't realize there was a regular and a petite of the same grilled salmon. So I'll just add here regular, and I can just copy, paste, and come over here and do petite, right? So in order, I don't have those fields. One field has the incorrect class, and then I'm missing another field. So I just go back over to fields. I'll come over here to this guy and say regular. And now that one's in the right place, and then I can just take this guy and duplicate it, and I can do a petite. Right, and then I'll just rename the field here, regular. I don't abbreviate the product names. I do sometimes abbreviate the classes because they get kind of long. Okay, so now I need the petite price over here, and let's make that $12.99. And you can see it's like right over top of here, right? And I just need to move down a little bit. So I come over here, and I would maybe do 300, 320. Grilled salmon PET. Grilled salmon. Oh, I needed to do this. I duplicated it, but I did not rename the class. So there we go. 3, maybe 40. Yeah, there you go. 340. And when I get to a point like this, I definitely would save. Okay, so I would just continue throughout the menu, moving, duplicating the field here, and then creating a class, and then manipulating the CSS to move the price into the right place. So let me continue. I'll take this grilled salmon with Cali mix petite, and I will duplicate it, and I'll call this shrimp Louis with house mix, and that is $12.99. And I just come over here and give it a class called shrimp Louis, and I can just copy that, come over here to CSS. Oop, I gotta put a dot, shrimp Louis, and I could copy this here, and let's do like $3.99. Yeah, more than that. Like $4.20, $4.15. Yep, there we go. And I'll save. And I would just continue on. Fields, shrimp Louis, copy, duplicate that one, and call it grilled chicken with chopped mix. Grilled chicken with chopped mix. It's $11.99, and I come over here and type here grilled chicken. Good enough. Grilled chicken. Copy. CSS. Dot grilled chicken. Copy that, paste that there, and let's do 588, too much. 77, too much. 70, 67, here we go, pretty good. And I would save, and I would just continue on. I've got a build your own, protein price 50 cents. Come over to fields, duplicate, build your own. That is 50 cents. Build your own. See, I'm gonna abbreviate now. BYO. Come over here. .BYO. Copy this and continue down here, and this is probably like 700. Pretty close. 777. Look at that. Really close. And I noticed you're using a 0.50. We can continue that. You could omit that as well, but we'll just make it. We'll make it exactly the same. And then I got to move it over a little bit here, and that would be like let's see, 90, 85. There we go, 85. Perfect. And I hit save. Okay, so I just continue on. Ahi poke bowl, $13.99. Duplicate. Ahi poke bowl. And what was that? $13.99. $13.99. Ahi poke. Good enough. Copy that class. Come over to CSS. Dot Ahi poke bowl. Copy this. CSS. I bet you that's around at least 900. Okay, so now we start to kind of get below where the CSS is, and things get a little trickier. So I have a couple of tricks here that he poke. Did I make a mistake? Go back to this. Oh, I did. He poke. That's right. I pasted it in there, so it should be right. And it's $13.99. Come over to CSS. He poke. That should be correct. Where'd it go? Don't see it on the menu. I have a bug somewhere. He poke. Oops. What's 977? Let's go back. Let's go to 877. 877. He poke. Where'd that price go? It's up here somewhere. He poke. Where did I make a mistake? Oh, I've got a dot here. There's the problem. Okay, so, all right, so here it is. Now, when you can scroll inside of this window, you can scroll the whole window. It starts to get a little tricky when the CSS is up here and you're starting to edit down here. So this is a good trick. You can right click, and I'm in Google Chrome, by the way, but this works in any browser pretty much, but really we only support Google Chrome, so that's what you should be using. So in Google Chrome, you have something called DevTools, and DevTools lets you see the underlying code on the page, and that will help you get the CSS values. So you just right click on the price, right? So I got this price, right click on it. You don't have to select it, just right click on it, go to inspect, and it opens up an editor over here. Okay, so the editor has the CSS values. Over here, because we right clicked on it and chose inspect, it automatically selected the right div, and you see it says price of $13.99 and has two classes, prices and ahi poke. Now the CSS values are down here in the styles tab, and you see here the ahi poke class is using left 877 and top 85. And you can double click on a value and then use your mouse. I'm using the wheel on my mouse to scroll up and down. So I'm scrolling down, 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 down. And there it is. A value of 1183 for left. And then double click on here. And 123 for top. So 1183 by 123. Come up here, 1183 by 183. And there, oh, I made a mistake. I'll do it again. 1183 by 183. I must have mistyped. No, I didn't. 1183 by 183 should be correct. Oh, okay. Guess it wasn't. 1183 by 127. 127. Okay. So I'll do that again for battered fish and chips. I'll do it the same way, and I'll show you how to use DevTools again. So battered fish and chips. Fields. I'll save here. Duplicate. Battered fish and chips. And over here I'll put class of battered fish. Good enough. Copy that. Come over to CSS dot battered fish, and now copy the CSS values, paste it here, and now it's going to be sitting right on top of the ahi poke. So I can just move it down by 100 pixels, and then it won't be sitting on it when I come down here. It will be sitting 100 pixels lower. So I know it's going to have the same top value, but I need a different left value to move it down. I just right click, hit inspect, and they're all going to have a top value of 127. I just need this to be the right left value, and boom, there we go. 1410. 1410 by 187. 127. 1410 by 127. And there we go. It's not the right price, so that doesn't matter. Okay, grilled shrimp plate. It's also going to have a value of 127 for top. And this one, 127. It's just I need to have the left value that moves it down. So, grilled shrimp plate. Grilled shrimp plate. And over here, I'll give it a class of grilled shrimp. Copy. Come over here. Paste. Copy. Paste. And this one also is going to have a top value of 127, but it's going to come down maybe like 100. So give it a value of 1510 for that left. And here it is sitting out here. And just use this to, oops, move it down to, it's 1562, but it's like a pixel too high, so 1563. 1563. And there we go. Maybe it's 1564. A little bit closer. Okay, and next one is Dynamite Shrimp Bowl. Duplicate Dynamite Shrimp Bowl. And over here, I'll just give it a class of Dynamite Shrimp. Copy that class, come over to CSS, dot Dynamite Shrimp, copy the CSS values, and paste. And it's going to be sitting right on top of this guy, which is not going to help me that much, so I'll just move it down 100 so I can get it out into the open here and inspect, and oops. And I'm scrolling with my mouse, and it should be about there. 1725, but it's probably 1720. That's probably good. 1725. 1725. And I'll save. I'm going down here, and there we go. So we've got all of the large font prices done. Now we've got two other prices down here. They're in the same font, but they're slightly smaller. I'm going to guess that's about 25. And so I need another class for these smaller prices because all of the large prices are sharing the prices class. So I can just copy this class and paste it down here and just call it prices 2. And now these two prices are going to share the prices 2 class. Very similar to this, meaning same positioning, same font, same color. They're just slightly smaller, so they can't share the same class as the larger prices. They just need their own class. So they are going to be prices 2. So prices 2, the first one is going to be cauliflower rice. So go over to fields. I can duplicate this field, call it cauliflower rice. It's obviously not $13.99. It is $2.75. So let's give it a price of $2.75. And let's declare a class called cauliflower rice. I'll copy that, come over to CSS. Dot cauliflower rice. Copy the CSS values, paste that there. That is definitely going to be lower. I'm just going to give it 100 extra pixels. I know it's going to move to the left, but it's the top parameter because we are rotated here, and that's going to be like 800. And so we come down here, and here it is. Notice it's too big because I haven't changed the prices to class to a smaller font size, which I'll need to do before I final positioning. So I just come over to prices to, and I say, okay, you're not 35 pixels, you're 25 pixels. Actually, I think you're 28 pixels. Come down here and, oh, I did not give it the right class because I duplicated the dynamite shrimp for it. It took the same class prices. It needs to be prices 2. Okay, so come down here and there it is. Still looks a little big. Let's put it over the graphic price, and then we can adjust that. So come over here like this, and move it down here, 1870, and see about right there. See, it's a little big. So let's go back to CSS and change this to 25. And notice it jumped back because I changed the CSS value, and the work that you do in the DevTools is actually just temporary. This is not a permanent change, so it reverted back. So I'm going to push this over. That's looking about like the right price. I mean, it's the right size. And move that down to position, and I'm about a pixel too high. There we go. So it's probably 70, like that, 707, 1870 by 707. Oops. 1870. Going on here. 1870 by, I think it was 727. Not quite. I made a mistake on the 7. 70. I think it was 707. 707. 7. 707. And pretty good. Okay, last one, brown rice. Now I can duplicate the cauliflower rice. Brown rice. It already has the prices to class because I duplicated the one above it. And just type in here brown rice. Come over to CSS. Dot brown rice. Copy the CSS values. Paste it over here. And I know that it's going to use the same top value because it's in line with that one, but it's going to be to the right, so that's a lesser value on here. Let's just move it over by 100, scroll down. Oh, I changed the wrong parameter. So they're both going to use 1870 for left, but from the top, because it's rotated, that's sometimes a little confusing. I'll just give it a value of 507 and move it way over to the right, and almost got it. And come over here, start moving it to place, and it's about right there. 445. 445. Oops. Four, 5. Save. And come down here, and there you go. So all of the CSS is done except one problem. I have red prices. So I just need to come up here to the color and put in the right color. I believe that color is a hex value. Let's start with this one actually. And I think that's the hex value. Yep, pretty good. So now all the prices are the right color, and I'll come down to the prices too, and they uses the same color, so that's a hex value of that. And there you go. Pretty good. So now that we have dynamic prices for everything, we can go over to the playlist tab, go to the backgrounds folder, because before I got the guide, I went to the guide folder and I got SoCal Digital 4. I'm going to go to the backgrounds folder and go to SoCal Digital 4 and remove that guide, and now all the prices are dynamic and the right color. Looks like we're missing the plus signs here. So we've got to go back to the graphics and expose the plus signs in the original in the graphic. No big deal. And then once we do that, we'll come back over here and we'll swap out this SoCal Digital 4 PNG with the one with the plus signs, and we should be good to go. So save.